Namaskaram. In Mahabharatam, we are on Arjuna's endeavors to win Divya Astras, especially the Pashupata Astra from Lord Siva. We started last day that Arjuna went to Kailasam and started meditating, and Lord Siva first wanted to test Arjuna. So he came in the guise of a hunter, accompanied by Parvati as the huntress, and all the bhutas, the demons who are traditional followers of Lord Shiva, as hunting helps. And we told about that pig which came to disturb Arjuna, and Arjuna sent an arrow, and the hunter Kirata simultaneously sent another arrow, and a quarrel developed between the two. And we are in the middle of that quarrel, and I said that it is interesting to go through the Chakyar version. So today I'll be going through the Chakyar version. Essentially it is the same as in Mahabharata. There are some fine details, that's all. For example, the presence of goddess Ganga on Shiva's mat is not mentioned in Mahabharata, at least at this place. So, Arjuna initially the two started sending arrows, and soon Arjuna exhausted arrows from his quiver, though it was known to be inexhaustible. Arjuna was surprised, but it so happened. And then he started hitting Shiva with his bow. That is where we left. And that is where the details in the Chakyar's version. Parvati, who knows the moods of Shiva closely, she is constantly worried that if Shiva by any chance loses his temper, he is prone to open his third eye. Shiva is famous for the third eye, and if that, it is normally closed, and when he is angry, the third eye opens, and then fire escapes. Even a sparkle is enough to burn down the whole world. So that is what Parvati is worried about. So she is constantly watching Shiva's face, his eyes. That is where there is a shloka quoted by Chakyar. It is Shirasi dhanuradanya tadyamanasya shambho alikanayana gone hinjidarajyamane upanishadupagudham rudramudghoshayanti pariharati kirari madhyamam pandavanam shirasi dhanu aranya tadyamanasya. Arjuna hitting Shiva with the bow's ends. When you hold the bow and strike, it is the end which hits. So Arjuna beats Lord Shiva with the ends to which the strings of the bow are tied. Shirasi dhanu atanya tadyamana. With the end of the bow, when Arjuna start hitting, Shambho Alika Nayana Kone Kinjit Arajyamane, and whether actually the Shiva's ends of eyes, whether it starts getting red, tints of red, which is a sign of anger, or whether Parvati imagines. But it is enough to cause worry to Parvati. So she is trying always to prevent the fight to continue. She says, Lord, please be kind, give whatever Arjuna wants, stop this fight. Shiva doesn't yield because he is fully aware what is happening. He knows when to stop. And then she goes to Arjuna and says, Arjuna, stop. This is not a hunter as you imagine. That is a shloka. So she says, Upanishad upagudham rudram udghoshayendi. The Chakyar interprets it many ways. In one way, she starts chanting Rudram, which is either Shri Rudram of Yajurveda or Rudra Suktam of Rigveda. These two are very famous suktas in the Vedas, especially the Shri Rudra of Rudra Sukta, Yajurveda. So she starts singing because it is very dear to Lord Shiva. So that may soothe Lord Shiva. That is her expectation. Another interpretation is Upanishad upagudham rudram rudram madhyamam pandavanam udghoshayendi. That is, she tells Arjuna, this is not a mere hunter, which is Lord Shiva, who is mentioned in all the Upanishads. His mention is a hidden secret in the Upanishad. Upanishad upagudham rudram udghoshayendi. Rudram udghoshayendi, in one sense, she starts singing Rudram, which is Sri Rudram or Rudra Sukta. Another meaning is, this Rudra is the Upanishad upagudham Shiva, the Shiva of Upanishad. Pariharati Kirati Madhyamam Pandavanam. She tries to prevent Arjuna from further fight. This Pariharati can be also to Shiva. Upanishad upagudham rudram pariharati. She tries to prevent Shiva by chanting Sri Rudram or Rudra Sukta and appeasing Shiva. So Chakyar interprets it both ways. It's a very interesting scene. Upanishad upagudham rudram udghoshayendi pariharati kirati madhyamam pandavanam. But anyway, it was in vain. Nobody obeyed, listened to her. And then they went into Arjuna's bow disappeared in Shiva's matted hair. So he couldn't do that. So he started giving blows to Shiva. And Shiva also started returning the blows. It's like a boxing match. And soon, with Shiva's blows, Arjuna's all joints were disconnected. It was so heavy that he fell down and swooned. He lost consciousness. And Shiva is observing Arjuna with a bit of amusement. Because Shiva's intention was to make Arjuna humble. Arjuna came with the pride that he is the best warrior in the whole world. There is none to beat him. And that was not a mentality suitable for receiving Divyastra. For receiving Divyastra, the divine weapons, one has to be humble. Humility is very important because these are very dangerous weapons. Should never be used in a fit of anger. You must always remain composed. So only people who have reached maturity are in a position to receive, are worthy of receiving the divine weapons. So Shiva wanted to make sure. And in a way, it is good to have that humility. And Arjuna, after getting the beatings from Shiva, he swooned, and when he, and he gained consciousness, and then it was in his desperate situation. We mentioned last day, he was lying down, and when he woke up, started getting a little bit of consciousness, he made a Shivalinga of mud. And then in the lying down position, he reached out, and whatever flower that were fallen from the trees, he picked, and lying down, he offered to that earthen Shivalinga as his worship. And to Arjuna's surprise, the flowers disappeared from there. Where did they go? And then when he looked at the hunter, the flowers were on the hunter's head. Arjuna, how is it? I had offered to my Shivalinga. Arjuna offered more flowers, and the same thing happened. And then on the hunter's head, he saw a strip of moon. And it is famous that Shiva's jata has got a strip of Chandra Shekhara. Shiva is famous as Chandra Shekhara, a strip of moon on his matted hair. And Arjuna found that. How is that? And then he also saw the matted hair itself. And then one by one, Shiva's symbols, the serpents, Sarpa Kundala. Shiva has got serpents in his ears as Kundala. And in one hand, he found a harina, a deer. In the other hand, he found the, what is it called? The axe. Parashave nama, Harina nama, Parashu, that axe in one hand and a deer in the other, Harina. Then of course, Abhaya and Varada, these are two gestures, one meaning protection to all, the other offering boons to the whole world. Abhaya, Varada. And Arjuna realized that it is not the hunter, but Lord Shiva himself. So he prostrated. Again, Lord Shiva, who is observing keenly, helped Arjuna to stand up and embraced him. And with that embrace, Arjuna's whole exhaustion disappeared. His limbs, which got disjoined, they came into shape, and he was refreshed. And Lord Shiva blessed him and gave him the Pashupata Astra. Pashupata Astra is one of the unique weapons. Of course, Brahmastra is, and there are many, but somehow Pashupata Astra is considered to be the most famous. That somebody has got the Pashupata Astra itself is a deterrent for anyone to come into battle with him. Like an atomic weapon. It is never to be used in a war, but that's a deterrent. So similarly, the Pashupata Astra was known to be a deterrent. There is no Pratyastra, means if someone deploys Pashupatra, there's nothing that can be done. The whole world will burn down. So that is why it is said it is never to be used against humans. Divine persons will have the power to absorb it. So Shiva offered the Pashupata to him, cautioning him that it is never to be used in a battle against the humans, and blessed Arjuna again, and Shiva and Parvati disappeared. So we stop here, time is up. Namaskaram.